Hi everybody. I just wanted to come on and I just got through watching Dylan's mom's interview. I wanted to go over it with y'all. I just can't imagine. I know the 8 hours that I had to go through from the time I known my daughter was deceased until I got to be with her was the worst time of my life. The beginning of the worst time of my life. Um, so I can't imagine a mom knowing that her child is missing and knowing that most likely is deceased and not knowing where he's at. It breaks my heart. So I'm going to play her interview. If I feel I need to chime in, I will. If not, I will just play it through. Okay. I gotta figure it out. Sorry. Oh, it breaks my heart. It really does.
He's going to stay detained so we can continue working on that and finding out.
Do you think he knows what happened to your son?
I do. Yep.
Knowing what you just learned today and that your family, I mean, you guys know James.
Yeah. Not friends or nothing, but acquaintances. Yeah.
Did you ever meet him before then?
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying? What was he doing with Dylan? I mean, was he working for him?
He's just helping off and on. He'd help Dylan hay out in Arco. He'd help him put together his pivot. Just day work is basically how you could explain it. And out in those small communities, everybody kind of sticks together. And when somebody needs help, everybody pulls together and helps.
Did you recall any conversations with Dylan in terms of what James Brenner was like? Did he show any aggression like that?
No, he just said he was a crazy old man who lived out in the desert. And that's what you'd expect from any 17-year-old kid at that time when you find somebody living out in the middle of the desert. But nothing that would have ever raised any alarm.
Now, explain where his boots were found and where James was squatting.
So his boots were found right almost directly behind James's trailer, probably about 150 yards behind that dirt mound. That dirt mound was right behind where James's trailer was.
Now, you were out there, were you not?
Yeah. Justin and I were there. We looked at the boots behind the dirt pile when they were first found.
And those boots, when you saw them, were they like buried or were they just left there?
No, they were just looked like somebody tossed them out. Just tossed out boots, just thrown out. Didn't look like they'd been there more than a couple days, if that.
What do you think has happened to Dylan?
I think James did something to him. I think he snapped. Especially hearing more of what I hear in court and how that's kind of been how some of his charges have been. I think he snapped at Dylan and he did something to it. And, he spent a whole weekend before we got out there covering it up.
Can you talk about just the mixed?
Number one, I don't know why they interviewed her outside. But if you'll notice, there's two different news crews there. In front of a mother that just came out of a courtroom, hearing that this man that they or the family knew and helped Dylan on his farm has most likely taken the life of him. I know when I found out my daughter was gone, I hate bringing up my daughter. I'm trying to explain the feeling of maybe how she's feeling in this moment. I mean, as soon as I got to see my daughter, well, first of all, after the law enforcement took me back to my house, after they wouldn't let me go to where she was at, they had to drive me back to my house. I wasn't able to drive myself. Um, but, and then after the 8 hours, I drove back to my hometown to make sure that I brought my daughter back to where she belonged. And I hid after I got her to the town that we lived in. I went and hid in my mom's bedroom. I didn't come out. The only time I came out was to go to the bathroom. She would make me eat. She would make me drink. And this was like this for a good 3 months. I don't remember the funeral. They said I was like a robot, that they were just telling me where I needed to go and where I needed to be. And I don't remember a lot of things. But I do remember that 8 hours. So her learning that this man most likely took her son's life, and she has no idea where her son's at. And then they're confronting her right in front of the courthouse or jail. Just really upsets me because she hasn't had time to really soak it all in. I hate the other channels that have badmouthed her. It doesn't matter what's happened in the past. You love your children no matter what. And all the drama around this has really, really been a bad thing. And I pray for her daily. I pray for Justin, the dad, but them confronting her in front of this courthouse, you can tell from the first few interviews she gave, in that first week to now, look at her. Her skin it's not tight and it's just, everything's drained out of her face. And you can see that. And I imagine she is just going through the motions. And everything's going to hit her. And when it does, I feel so sorry for her. I'm not saying it hasn't hit her yet. I'm just saying right now, it's just like your brain is a big old fog.
Emotions that this probably brings, seeing someone in shackles, like you said, but then also knowing that.
Yeah, it's kind of, you don't want him in shackles as a parent. You want to go find him yourself. So it's probably a good thing he's in shackles. It's mixed feeling until we know it's hard. I mean, you have emotion, but we need to know. Then we can move forward.
Confident in what the work the Fox other authorities and FBI
I am. I'm confident at the approach they're taking and the direction they're going. So,
what did they tell you? What did they say? Because yesterday they mentioned that he was a suspect, and they say this guy just needed time, no sense.
pretty much. I mean, that's what I'm gathering from her being a suspect. This is just some physical.
Oh, hold on. Your hair's all
I know, right?
It's going to look funny.
I put my sunglasses on.
Basically, this way.
They're more worried about their shot.
What's Box Elder telling you about this guy? Are you convinced? Are they telling you that he's the guy?
They're telling us the same thing they're telling everybody else in their press releases, is that he's the suspect. He's the main suspect, but I think all the other cards are holding close for reasons that we can all understand. I don't know. I do know some that media doesn't know, but honestly, it's not a lot. But from the day one this began, gut feeling with Jim had something to do with it, and just everything got crazy. And then as we progressed, everything's led us right back to where Dylan parked that green truck and his boots were found. Everything's taken us right back to day one.
And that's where James also.
Correct. That's where he squatched. Yes.
Are you hearing that when I speak to Box Elder, they're saying not any closer to actually knowing where Dylan is? Is that what you're hearing?
I'll be honest with you. I haven't spoken with Box Elder director probably for 2 weeks. I've been in contact with the FBI, but I get a daily update on an email, but I have not actually had a phone call or.
Can you share their update tonight then?
I don't. It's like right on my email, my phone, but it's all the updates been on is the search party. Where they've searched and continue looking. So I don't have anything from them.
Are they searching now?
They have deputies out there still browsing around, but we really need a direction. Even they need a direction. We can't just stay out there in the middle of the desert.
Do you think what's key here is breaking Brenner down?
Yep, that's going to be our key. That's what we need. Somebody to talk. And when you offer $100,000 in a, I hate to say it, but poor community and nobody talks, that means nobody really knows. That means it was a very tight-knit thing that was done if you offer somebody $100,000, because we've gotten nothing.
So the key may be to break Brenner down.
Correct.
He has the answers.
He has the answers.
Any last thoughts on we're almost 6 weeks into when he was last reported.
Yeah, no, I still just want everybody to stick with the facts, and we're getting some stuff moving forward, and, keep looking forward to getting the answers and being able to bring Dylan home. So.
One question I just thought, a lot of these web sleuths, YouTubes and such, they're on a different trail.
Yeah.
Brenner was like under the radar. I mean, what does that tell you?
They're absolutely ridiculous. I mean, that is my honest opinion about him now. I used the internet to get the word out because we had to. I never knew anything like this existed out there. I really didn't. But they're all on the wrong path. They're not listening to facts. They're not listening to the family. They're using it.
Well, I have to say, if you'll go back to my first video, Jim Brenner was my very first and only suspect. After I found out that Chase had a .22 rifle, I also put him second. But Jim has always been my first one. It makes less crime scene if shot by a .22. And I believe that's what happened.
To get their hits and try to make their money off of YouTube, and it's absolutely disgusting.
Thank you, Candice.
You're welcome.
So, what happens now? I mean,
so as far as I know, it's like the FBI said, there will be somebody standing over Brenner. The heat will be on him. They will keep it on him.
They're going to be continuing to interrogate him and such until he finally breaks down.
Yeah, and I don't know on the deal with Chase. I honestly don't know what's going on. I know they listed a homicide investigation in the affidavit, but I haven't been getting any information on that or what the thoughts are on Chase. So that's something that's ongoing that I don't have information on.
Do you think he had anything to do with it?
I'm starting to wonder. I mean, why else would what's going on be going on with what we know now on his arrest and stuff?
So do you think that maybe there's a group, not just one person?
I don't think there's any way Jim could have pulled this off by himself. I mean, maybe hurting Dylan, but not the rest of it.
What kind of transportation did he have? Brenner?
Oh, he's got a pickup.
Oh, he's got a pickup.
Yeah, he's got a pickup.
Good. We good?
So,
Yep.
Okay.
Candice, thank you.
Thank you guys.
Talk
Yep.
about
Okay, so that was the mom, Candice Cooley. I'm sorry that she is in the shoes that she's in. No parent should have to go through this ever. If you come across this video, just please pray for her. Unless you've been in her shoes, don't talk bad about her. Don't talk bad about any of the family members. They don't deserve this. Y'all have a good night.